Hello, everybody. Welcome to Art and Outdoor Life here with John. We're going to have a lot of fun with this painting, and you can take these ideas with watercolor, oil, or acrylic, as I'm doing here. The other day, my wife walked in, and she seen one of my videos, and she said, "John, you sound like you're crying in that video. Were you crying?" And jokingly and kind of with a shock, I looked at her and said, "Well, yeah, I was crying." Of course I was crying. My painting came out horrible. It was terrible. Anyways, and that's the truth. Jokes aside, though, I wasn't crying. It's the way I talk, you know. Anyways, so here, you're going to love this video if you're into any kind of painting. It could be watercolor, acrylics, or oils, okay? This is an acrylic painting on a canvas panel, okay? What we're doing here is we're going to do an impressionistic painting. And I think you'll like this video. I say that every now and then, but, I do. I really think you'll like this. Okay, so why am I wearing gloves? I never wear gloves, right? These plastic gloves. Well, part of it is because I literally like to put my fingers on paintings. But, however, in this painting, I seriously did want to put my finger on the painting. You don't have to. You can use brushes, okay? And I use a lot of brushes in this video. You're going to see this painting change, like all paintings. But you're going to watch this painting literally change before your eyes. And you're going to watch it as I'm painting. You're gonna see how I create something that looks dull and problematic and impossible into something very nice. But you're also going to see something that is not exactly, of course it's not contemporary. It's an old-fashioned way of painting. A very old-fashioned way, okay? So I'm using a lot of titanium white here to get the pastel looks, okay? I'm using cerulean blue. I'm making grays, okay? Okay, you're looking at this, you're going, okay, now I'm going to mess up the sky. If you watched any of my videos, if you ever watched any of them, you know that I'm not always happy with, there's always a painting I do I'm not happy with. And that's true. And even this one. But I'm very happy with this painting, actually. I really am. Okay, if you see the glare on there, it will go away. It does go away. So, okay. I'm making browns. I'm using two kind of blues, a dark blue and a cerulean blue. I'm using a brown, and I'm using a red. I'm using gamboge, which is, and it's a yellow, but it's a dark yellow. It's almost like an orange yellow. Okay. But I'm using the white. I separated the white on my disposable palette because I don't. Some people keep their white, one spot and they just grab off it. And I'm not very good at that, okay? Anyways, so I'm doing shapes here, right? Now, what am I looking at? What are we looking at here? Okay, first of all, right here, it kind of looks like we're looking down a river or something into the city, right? Maybe in New York or somewhere. But these are shapes. They're only shapes. So with the gray that I put for the clouds, the higher the clouds are, and the lower the clouds are, the more distance it is, right? Okay. So I wanted to put that on top over the cerulean blue. Now I am using water as my medium. Okay, this is acrylic painting. I'm using water, so I put my paper towel, dipped it in just a little bit of water, squeezed it out, so I can kind of go through this stuff. So when you see me using my paper towel, a lot of times it'll be dipped in water. And you see how it smooths it out? It gets some of those rough edges out. This is acrylic painting on canvas panel. Okay. So now I'm using the same method, same technique. It's just a little piece of paper towel dipped in water. And what am I doing? Well, I'm kind of lifting the paint, and I'm kind of sculpturing the scene. Okay. And I'm lightening up colors, I'm lifting colors, and that's what I'm doing, the pigments. The other side that is not wet of the paper towel, I'm kind of pat drying it. So I'm going back and forth. I'm using the wet to kind of move the paint and lift the paint, and I'm also using the paper towel on the dry side to also, you know, lift the paint, but also to kind of dry it. So here I am. This is the gambage, okay, and a little bit of yellow. So what is the purpose here? Okay, now you can easily make this a scene that looks like you're looking toward a city, right? A big city. But this is a landscape painting, not a cityscape, okay? I'm not so worried about, moving the paint around. Like in watercolor, some of the paints stain the paper, and then you're kind of stuck with it. Well, here with acrylics, I'm not really stuck with it. Okay, so I put a little bit of water on a brush. I'm using a 1-inch brush and a 2-inch brush, and then I'm using just a few other short brushes. That's what I'm using. So I'm lifting the paint with water, and I'm kind of pat drying it with the dry brush. Okay, if that makes any sense. I'm trying to push the gray more in the background with the undertone colors. Okay, what are the undertone colors? Well, the undertone colors are the blues and what I started out with. So here I am again. I wetted a paper towel, and I'm going in circular motions, and it's not drenched, so it's more of a mist on the watercolor on, my apologies, not the watercolor, but the paper towel. It's more of a misty water. So I'm using some white here, okay? Now, what I'm looking for in this painting is, I know in my mind what I want to paint. It's a scene that's not very far from my house, but I wasn't using a reference photo. It's just from my imagination. So I'm just randomly putting in white, just those dots here and there. Why am I doing this? I mean, what is the purpose of this? Well, the purpose of it is to kind of get some white in the middle of these darker colors and gray colors and light colors. I kind of want the white in there, in between, because now I can use the white to my advantage. So here is a mixture of, it's like a burnt sienna. It's brown with a little bit of red. And now what I'm doing with the landscape is I'm trying to bring up everything closer, as if I'm, as if this is right up close. And this again is garbage. It's a yellow. It's almost an orange, but it's a yellow garbage. So I'm bringing this closer to me. Okay, I'm pushing back the background. I'm letting the clouds, be where they are, and then I'm dabbing it with paper towel. Okay, so I'm getting a little texture here. I'm getting some of the water off. These are water soluble, right? And then turning it, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this river curve. So, it's kind of, right now it's coming into its own. That's what makes painting exciting. And I put a little bit more cerulean blue on here. And now I'm starting to mix things a little bit with white again. And when you mix things with white, it softens the pigment. Okay, you'll get the pastel type of pigments, type of colors. When you mix with white, it softens it up. It's not so hard. So, with a mixture of a few different colors, some blues, some darker blues, and browns, and even a little bit of purple. It's red, a little bit of red and blue will make purple. And then always with a touch of white. And now I'm creating the scene. So here's something that might be a shocker to you if you're new. So now I'm just putting straight yellow on there. A bright yellow. Why am I doing this? Why am I mixing this up? And I mixed it with a little bit of white to soften up the yellow, right? You see how hard that goes up against that sky? I mean, it doesn't look like that's like the wrong thing to do, right? But no. Watch how this comes out. I'm doing the corners. Okay, the upper right and upper left corners. Because I don't want this to be a gloomy day. Even though we got some gray clouds and, This is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the light and the darker tones, the darker colors or pigments. Okay, so now I'm taking the paper towel and we're going to blend this in. We're going to blend it in. It is very heavy, and that's okay. That's the whole idea here. Okay, so now, as you see, it still it sticks out like a sore thumb, right? This yellow I put in there. But like any painting, there's always, we move forward, right? You move forward. Now this was off the top of my head, off the fly. Okay, so I'm using some more garbage here, and I'm just using some white here and there, and I'm feeling it out. In other words, I'm going from a light color to a dark color to a neutral color back to a light color. I'm going back and forth instead of like doing a whole painting in a dark color and then touching it up with lights. I'm not doing that. Here is pastel. I'm using white with red. So I'm lightening it up, but at the same time, I'm putting in, it's kind of like highlights. You can use different kind of pastel colors. You don't have to use a red with the white. And by the way, if you see this, there are parts of the red on here I'm leaving there. And that's because the red makes the accents, right? Or vice versa. So I'm taking more white, and now I'm making this river. I'm widening it. Making the river wider because it's right up front. Okay? And so just kind of swooping across here. And as it goes further on, it's fading more gray, more light, more darker, not necessarily darker, but more lighter, more of a gray. Okay, now this is an impressionistic painting. These are not, this is not meant to be detailed at all. However, I can come back, and if you're painting along with me, you could always come back and put in something detailed. You could put in a tree and make it very detailed, But now look at the sky. The sky looks nice. And what's that? A little bit of white, and boom. Now we have a moon, right? We have a moon. These are ideas, and they're meant, my whole page here, my video page, is meant to, give ideas and, and such as I'm learning. I'm always learning. So here I am, I'm putting in more garbage, right? Some of it's pastel with a little bit of white, some of it's straight on. Why am I doing that? Because I want to push the middle ground backwards. And I want to also I want to put a little bit of light in between these darks. I want to put a little bit of bright in between the darks. And I want just to kind of give a feeling of, okay, you can see where it's going to direct your attention. I hope you enjoy my videos, and please like and subscribe and come back. I don't make any money off these, and I appreciate you viewing them. Hope that you're having a wonderful day. Sincerely yours. And enjoy your paintings. Enjoy them. Sincerely yours, John. So, just kind of dabbing here and there.